The Dominion had ruled for thousands of years. Their warships had plowed through the defenses of 100 worlds. Their ambassadors had accepted the surrender of 1,000 more. Their engineers had stripped resources from countless planets, leaving barren husks in their wake. The Dominion was unstoppable, a perfect machine of conquest that had never known defeat. Until they encountered humans. Admiral Voss stood on the bridge of the flagship, Inevitable, gazing at the holographic display of the small blue-green planet, Earth. Just another backwater world on the edge of the galaxy, unaware of its place in the greater universe. Primitive, vulnerable, perfect. Begin the standard approach, he ordered. Orbital superiority, then ground forces. I want this system secure within 3 days. His subordinates followed protocol. The massive fleet moved into position. Warning broadcasts were sent to Earth's governments in thousands of languages. The Dominion had perfected their system of conquest across countless civilizations, show overwhelming force, demand immediate surrender, then systematically dismantle any resistance. But Earth responded differently. When the first Dominion drop, ships descended through the atmosphere. They were met with unexpected resistance. Not the disorganized panic they typically encountered, but coordinated strikes from multiple vectors. Not desperate last stands, but strategic withdrawals and ambushes. Commander Tull's voice crackled over the comm. Admiral, we're experiencing heavy losses in Landing Zone Alpha. These humans, they're fighting differently than our simulations. Predicted. Voss frowned. Impossible. All species fight the same when cornered. Increase deployment by 30%. 3 days later, Voss stared at casualty reports with growing unease. The humans weren't just resisting, they were adapting, learning. They had already reverse-engineered captured Dominion weapons and were using them with disturbing effectiveness. They communicate across their planet instantly, his intelligence officer reported. They share tactical information freely between different fighting forces. They're using our own technology against us. Impossible, Voss repeated, but with less conviction. On the 7th day, the Dominion faced its first major defeat when a human strike team infiltrated and destroyed a command center in a region called Nevada. On the 10th day, 3 Dominion warships were disabled by hastily assembled human spacecraft using modified Dominion technology. Voss called an emergency meeting of his war council. What makes these humans different? He demanded. General Kem, scarred from countless campaigns, leaned forward. They're not just fighting for survival, they're angry. Most species we conquer fight from fear. Humans fight from rage. And they're cooperative in a way we've never seen, added Science Officer Bren. They set aside their internal conflicts instantly when faced with us. Different nations, different beliefs, none of it matters. They're united against us. Intelligence Officer Marr nodded. They're also creative. They don't follow our predicted patterns. They improvise. They take risks that seem illogical but yield results. By the 20th day, the Dominion had lost control of Earth's orbit. Human engineers had not only adapted Dominion technology but improved upon it. Their weapons were cruder but more powerful. Their tactics were unpredictable. Their determination was unbreakable. Voss received the unprecedented order to withdraw from Dominion High Command. In 3 centuries of expansion, the Dominion had never retreated. But now, facing mounting losses and no clear path to victory, they had no choice. As the remnants of his fleet limped away from Earth, Voss watched the blue planet recede on his view screen with a mixture of fear and fascination. They won't stop here, he said quietly. He was right. 6 months later, the first human ships appeared at the edge of Dominion space. Not just 1 or 2 exploratory vessels, but a full battle fleet. Somehow, they had taken Dominion technology and improved it beyond recognition. Their ships were faster, their weapons more powerful, their shields more resilient. The Dominion, accustomed to being the aggressor, found themselves on the defensive for the first time. World after world fell as humans pushed deeper into their territory. But unlike the Dominion, humans didn't come as conquerors. They came as liberators. On each planet they took, They offered the inhabitants a choice: join their United Worlds alliance as equals or remain neutral. Those who had suffered under Dominion rule for generations joined willingly. The humans' alliance grew exponentially. 2 years after the first contact with Earth, Admiral Voss, now tasked with the impossible job of stopping the human advance, received a transmission. A human appeared on his screen, a female with short gray hair and the bearing of a leader. "Admiral Voss," she said. "I am Admiral Wilson of the United Worlds. We are prepared to offer terms." "The Dominion does not negotiate," Voss replied automatically, though his voice lacked conviction. "Then the Dominion will fall," Wilson stated simply. "But we'd prefer a different outcome. We don't want to subdue you, we want to work with you." Work with us? The concept was foreign to Voss. In the Dominion worldview, there were only rulers and ruled. Yes. Your technology combined with our innovation, your organization with our adaptability, we could accomplish more together than either of us could alone. 3 days later, Voss stood before the Dominion High Council advocating for something no Dominion officer had ever proposed. Peace talks, not surrender. Partnership. "These humans," he explained, "they don't think like us. They don't want to rule. They want to build. They don't seek subjects, they seek allies, and if we fight them, they will win, but if we join them..." The Dominion, for the first time in its long history, changed. 10 years later, Voss stood on the observation deck of the United Worlds headquarters, watching ships from dozens of species come and go. Beside him stood Admiral Wilson, now his colleague and friend. "We learned from you, you know," she said. "Your efficiency, your discipline, your long-term planning." "And we learned from you," Voss replied. "Your innovation, your cooperation, your humanity." They both knew the galaxy was better for it.